Hello children, I am Miss Jayashree here. Today we will read Standard 7 Geography, Structure of Atmosphere, continuation of the chapter Structure of Atmosphere. Last class you learnt about the atmosphere, introduction of the atmosphere, factors on which the atmospheric condition depends, composition of the atmosphere. Today we will learn about the structure of atmosphere. On the basis of structure, the atmosphere can be divided into 5 layers: troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere and exosphere. See children, here this is the diagram of the layers of atmosphere. This is the structure of the earth, and on the structure of the earth, how the earth has divided into different layers of atmosphere: troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere and exosphere. Here the kilometers are given over here. First layer will be the troposphere, second layer will be the stratosphere, third layer will be the mesosphere, fourth is thermosphere and next one is the exosphere. Thermosphere is also known as the ionosphere. Now we will discuss in detail about the troposphere. The troposphere is the lowest part of the atmosphere. Troposphere is the lowest part of the atmosphere. It lies closest to the Earth's surface. The upper boundary is called the tropopause. The term tropopause has been derived from the Greek word tropos, meaning mixing or changing or turn. This layer is suitable for human habitation. Here a question may be asked, children, what are the conditions which are favoring for the existence of the human habitation on the surface of the earth? Means about the troposphere or the importance of the troposphere you will write. First one, it is an important feature of troposphere is that there is decrease of temperature with increase in altitude at a mean lapse rate of about 6.4 degrees centigrade per kilometer. Means when you will reach to an higher altitude, there will be decrease of temperature. The average height of the troposphere is about 14 km above the sea level, but its height varies from place to place. Under the normal conditions, the height of the troposphere is about 8 km at the pole and 16 km at the equator. Here you remember the height of the troposphere will be 8 km at pole and 16 km at equator. The troposphere contains dust particles, water vapor. This is more common in the air of the industrial towns and cities, and pollution is much more here than the village area. Because mainly in the townships there will be more industries, more running of the automobiles and the vehicles, so pollution level will be more. Troposphere contains water vapor which mixes perfectly with the other gases. The degree to which the water vapor is present in the air is called humidity. The tropopause makes the lowest layer of the stratosphere. In this sphere, the temperature remains steady with 80 degrees centigrade. The altitude of the tropopause is the height over the equator 17 kilometers and the lower over the pole 9 to 10 kilometers. There are important seasonal changes in altitude of the tropopause. In the altitude means when the height of the tropopause will change, there will be seasonal changes. Now we will come to study about the stratosphere. Stratosphere. The stratosphere is the second layer between the tropopause and the stratopause. The troposphere is the second layer between the tropopause and the stratopause. It extends on an average between 13 km and 50 km. After tropopause, the temperature does not fall, nor does it remain steady. It is a generally tranquil zone in which at the lower level the temperature is relatively constant. It is a zone of thin rarefied air in which the temperature is almost steady at 50 degrees centigrade to a height of 20 kilometers or so. So, what are the different observations in the stratosphere? No visible phenomenon takes place in this layer. Cirrus clouds are formed in the lower stratosphere. Winds of high speed are observed in this layer of atmosphere. The high speed winds will be observed in the stratosphere. The ozone layer, presumed to be relatively stable over the past several hundred million years, is now in a state of continuous damage. Children, nowadays the ozone layer is getting damaged, or we are getting the ozone holes because of these pollutants. This region is also called the ozonosphere. Due to this depletion in the ozone layer, we are facing the global warming. Next point. This layer is almost unaffected by weather at the lower level. The temperature is relatively constant. Moisture is low here. Moisture will be low in the stratosphere. Clouds does not form here. It provides an ideal flying condition for aircraft. Aircrafts will fly in the stratosphere. Stratopause. Stratopause is a transitional zone between stratosphere below and mesosphere above. It marks the upper limit of the stratosphere with a relatively high temperature of 0 degrees centigrade or more. The temperature within the stratopause remains constant with increasing altitude. When height will increase, the stratopause remains constant. It marks a transition into the next lower temperature zone known as mesosphere. After tropopause, mesosphere will start. What is mesosphere, children? It is one of the layers of atmosphere. The mesosphere is the zone. The mesosphere is the zone in the Earth's atmosphere lying at an altitude of some 80 km above the Earth's surface. It forms a boundary zone between the mesosphere and the ionosphere or thermosphere. It is the layer with the lowest temperature. Mesosphere is the layer with lowest temperature. It is the region of silvery white noctilucent clouds clearly visible in high latitudes during the summer nights. The upper limit of the mesosphere is the mesopause. This one you note down. The upper limit of the mesosphere is the mesopause. Just after the mesopause, the thermosphere or the ionosphere will start. The next name of the thermosphere or the other name of the thermosphere will be the ionosphere. With the further increase in altitude, beyond the mesopause, a temperature increases takes place rapidly. This layer above the mesopause, where the temperature increases rapidly, is called ionosphere. Here, air is extremely rarefied. The gas molecules are widely scattered. Temperature increases here until it approaches something like 100 degrees at noon. Means more temperature will be over here in the thermosphere or in the ionosphere. Radio waves are reflected from the ionosphere. This layer is important in long distance radio communication. Nitrogen is an extremely rarefied gas in the ionosphere. Now we will come to the last layer of the atmosphere, that is exosphere. Exosphere. Exosphere is the uppermost layer of the atmosphere of the Earth. The exact height of the top of the exosphere is not certain. The atmosphere in this region is highly predominant with rarefied hydrogen and helium gases. Here you will find the hydrogen and helium gases, which is the last layer of the atmosphere, that is the exosphere. Again I am showing you the children this diagram. Please all of you please see the structure of atmosphere. First layer will be the troposphere. Next will be the stratosphere. Third will be the mesosphere. next thermosphere, and last layer will be the exosphere. You can draw this diagram also. Layers of atmosphere. See, layers of atmosphere. Layers of atmosphere diagram you draw in your geography file. Okay, thank you children.